Hello, America. I'm Steve Saylor, and I'm running for President of the United States. Yes, I am. Don't try to stop me. I have to do this because the other candidates in this election, even the one or two who are trying to put the interests of people ahead of business, bless their hearts, none of them are paying attention to Einstein. You know the quote, "We can't solve problems by using the same kind of thinking we used when we created them." In other words, the solutions proposed from within this system are bound to fail because these problems are inherent and inevitable in this system. Come on, folks, listen up. He's Einstein. We have to recognize the systemic flaws in our current system and that a complete overhaul, a redesign of the way we manage ourselves and our resources is what's needed right now. And this is what I've been talking about in the prior videos, how we have to get out of this monetary system and this infinite growth economy and just work at things that are relevant to what people need and want, which less than half of us are actually doing now. And that's astonishing when you think about it, how just 100 years ago it was like 80 or 90% of us working to produce things we need, working in the food industry or making cars or appliances. And now, more than half of us have jobs that are not producing anything real or tangible. Just moving numbers around in an old money game that has nothing to do with the real world. And more people are beginning to understand this now and coming to the realization that we could just stop doing all these jobs and everything could go on just the way it is. Plus, people could be working half the time they're working now to make the things we really need. So why don't we do that? Why do we keep people working at things that have no direct benefit to us? Well, in a word, programming. We have to be programmed to believe that these jobs are necessary, which they aren't, and we have to be indoctrinated to hate and fear those people and go to war, which we don't. And this training begins at an early age. In school, we were taught to pledge allegiance to this flag and this country. Don't ask questions like, why not pledge allegiance to all people and all nations, to the whole planet? What would you call somebody who asks that question, who doesn't just blindly accept what they're told? Well, you might call him Jacques Fresco, because that's exactly what he did. Putting aside the accepted beliefs and traditions of our culture, which is not easy to do, and demanding to see what's on the other side of these blinders, to see what lies beyond the approved limits of debate. And he has continued to ask the why question throughout his entire life, like a scientist would do, like all people should be doing. Because we use this scientific method of rational thinking in all fields of endeavor. It works for everything. And he applied it to airplane technology, to structural engineering, industrial design. But he took it a step further and talked about applying this scientific methodology of problem solving to our societal issues, to solving our social problems, which even many scientists don't consider, because we've been programmed to think that we can't use reason and logic and scientific calculation with people like we do with, say, structural engineering, because we're not logical. We're independent with our free will, and people are unpredictable. Well, this is not true. Human behavior, which is what we're talking about here, is a direct result of the reality in which people exist, of the overall environment in which they're raised. And if you want to see this in action, well then build a system based on self-interest and greed and gaining advantage over others like we have now, and then look at the corruption and murder and all the sick, aberrant behavior we see in our society. This is predictable. You can trace it directly to our social and economic systems and the values they produce. So if we're really serious about getting rid of corruption, mental illness, school shootings, then you need to have a system with built-in incentives and reinforcers that produce positive, healthy behavior. Of course, everyone wants that, right? Except for the small group of people who want to keep us divided and fighting each other, who are making such a mess of this world. Well, this is what we have to change, and it's up to us, all of us. And no one has been thinking about this and asking the why question longer than Jacques Fresco. And that's a testament to keeping your brain active and engaged, is asking why. Why hold on to an outdated and destructive monetary system? And why not get rid of the jobs that are no longer necessary or relevant thanks to our technology? Why not move into a resource-based economy that provides real solutions and a roadmap for creating a healthy, sustainable, humane civilization? Yeah, why not?